Okay, then I will start my presentation. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Meng, and I'm a PhD student from the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. The paper I will presenting today is titled, as introduced, in information realization to promote students' reflection on gaming the system in online learning. And this is a joint work of HKUST and the University of Toronto. First, let's look at what is gaming the system behavior. It represents that students exploit properties and regularities of the learning system rather than learning the material. For example, some students may quickly and repeatedly asking for help until the correct answer is provided, or quickly and systematically guessing the answers until correct. So it's reported that 10 to 40% students showed any forms of gaming behavior in books, and students who game the system tend to have reduced learning years and lower long-term academic achievements. So actually previous there are some methods to solve the problem. For example, introduce a 2-second delay between the hints or between the submissions, or we can previous methods also detect gaming behavior and impose more exercises to gaming students. While if takes fail to promote people's reflection on why game the system change is necessary, their effects may fade away quickly once removed. Which means that if we do not tell students why game the system is not good from their perspective, they will still game when there is no such intervention. For example, introduce 2 seconds delay. So according to the dual process of decision-making in psychology area, there are two modes of thinking, automatic and reflective. And the automatic thinking mode actually demands quick decisions with little effort, while reflective thinking mode allocates mental attention, which is more effortful, rational, and conscious to make decisions. But previous solutions, they rely on automatic thinking mode instead of the reflective ones. So it is critical to design reflective mechanisms that can promote students' reflection on gaming the system behavior. Since the persuasiveness of data visualization has been revealed in a wide range of recent research. For example, visualization contributes more to people's understanding than text in estimating drug efficacy or changing the attitude toward political topics. So in this work, we try to combine reasoning information and convey them using the persuasive visualizations to design the reflective nudge that hopes to promote students' reflection on their gaming the system behavior. In this paper, we propose we raise 3 research questions. What are the typical contexts in which students may try to game the system, and what are the possible negative consequences? What are the ways to encode information for communicating reasons not to game into reflective nudge? And what are the design considerations for creating reflective nudge? So for the research question 1, we conducted semi-structured interviews with 16 students and 3 instructors. So for the students, here is their answers. So the top 3 reasons why students game the systems are: when they are busy, they may game the system to save the time on the course. And the second context is that when they face with difficult problems, they feel frustrated and they want to game to keep up the pace with other students. And the third reason is that sometimes they think that some concepts are not important and they just want to game and game quickly to pass to next question. And the other 2 contexts actually are not popular than the top 3 ones, and that are not amended in this context in our paper. So for the first 3 contexts, we also asked the instructors how their attitude towards the reasons towards the gaming behavior. And for the gaming context 1, the instructor thinks that gaming definitely cannot save the time, and it would cost the students much more time in the review period. And for the second context, the instructors thought that gaming in the face of difficult problems actually, for the difficult problems, other students also take considerable efforts to solve. So there is no need to game the system. And for the third reason, the instructor thinks that some concepts, they may seem unimportant, but they are connected with other concepts in the following concepts and in the following questions. So the negligence of those concepts may hinder the mastery of later concepts depending on them. So for the research question 2, we want to encode the reasons not to game into reflective nudges. And we took the iterative design with both instructors and students. We first derived a set of design goals by interviewing 3 instructors. And then we prototyped more than 10 no-fidelity persuasive realizations. For each of the reason, we prototyped 3 to 4 visualizations. After that, we conducted participatory interviews with 2 instructors to get feedback on each realization and narrow down to 3 final candidates. And at last, we conducted informal testing with 7 students to improve the visual designs. So here is the design goals we derived by the interviews. So be informative, encode the reasons not to game, be persuasive, encourage alternative behavior instead of gaming, and be intuitive, make visualizations easy to understand. Here are the 3 final visual designs, and this is V1. So V1 encodes how different group students spend their time on the problem. Here, each red bar represents incorrect submission, each green bar for correct submission. Yellow block shows the reflection time, and the blue block shows the time needed for the exam review. The first row shows that good students that usually spend more time between each submission to reflect and need less time before the exam to review. Struggling students game the system and spend less time on reflection and need more time to review before the exam. And in the third row, we show the students' recent submission records in a real-time manner. And V1 tries to convey that gaming the system by submitting frequently may need to spend much more time reviewing the question before an exam. And V2 tries to convey the information from the number of attempts perspective. And the green rectangle represents correct submission, and red represents incorrect submission. It shows peers information by mean attempt times and first-time passing rate from last semester. So this realization wants to convey that difficult problems also take other students considerable efforts, and it is not necessary to give up quickly to game the system. So V3 shows a prerequisites graph of the concepts, and the green color represents students have mastered that concept, and red means need to review. Yellow means a current module, and green means a future module. So this design tries to convey that the relationship between each concept in the questions. So if some concepts are connected with others, it may remind the students not to ignore it. To test the effects of the visualizations and also the design considerations for reflective nudge in online learning, we deployed our designs into a university-level introductory programming course with 205 students. And all these students are divided into 4 groups with 3 experimental groups and 1 control group. The 3 experimental groups received one of the visual designs respectively. After the interventions, they also received the questionnaire to rate their understanding on the visualization and the effect of the visualization on their on promoting their reflection on gaming. Also, we conducted post-study interviews to get the reasons behind the questionnaire ratings and for more suggestions. Here is the result of the deployment. The table shows the ratio of gaming students in each condition and problems. There are 4 consecutive problems in 1 week, P1 to P4. We deployed our interventions on P3 and P4. apart from the control group, we also provided the data from Nazi method as another baseline. And the results shows that students, the portion of students, gaming students decreased in V1 and V2 compared with the baselines. And also, here is the results of the questionnaires. And we ask questions in terms of 4 questions in the questionnaire. There are 7 Likert skill questionnaire. And the questions are from information conveyance, reflection on gaming, reflection on question answer, and easy to understand. We find that most of the scores are above 4, which means they have some positive results, or while one score is lower than 4. This is for the easy to understand, whether we want is easy to understand. So students, in the post-study interview, found that students thought the V1 may have too many components, and the fonts are small, and it's not clear where you should start reading. So some of the visualizations still need to be improved to improve the understanding. This is the results of the design considerations for reflective nudges in online learning. And we summarized the 4 design considerations. The first one is the color is effective for alert and highlighting information. For example, one participant comments that the green and red color are good stimuli, like the traffic light in the psychology area. And the second is that perceived authenticity increases persuasiveness. That means that, for example, in V2, the students asked to show explicitly where the data from. Okay, and the third one, collecting to peers may hurt people who are low self-esteem, and we should ensure good grasp of information, since some students spend very little time on read the visualizations. So here are the take-home messages. We identify 3 common gaming contexts and designed context-specific persuasive visualizations. And we deployed our information visualization on a real online programming homework platform. We presented the design considerations and on reflective nudges in online learning. So thank you very much, and I would be happy to take any questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And great timing. What a great set of studies. There are some questions in the chat. One that I'll highlight right now, and feel free to also scroll through, is about students' motivations. I think Nell asked this question. What were students' goals in taking the course? Do you have a sense of that? Was it more performance oriented or more learning mastery oriented in how that impacts their gaming behavior?
Oh, okay. So I'm now reading the questions. So just now I'm already reading the questions. Could you please repeat the question again? I'm not sure which one
we'll have time for one, which is the one from Nell. In the interviews, did you get a sense of what students' goals were in taking the online course? Did students whose goals were focused on performance, getting a good grade, rather than learning, mastering the material, impacting their gaming activities?
Oh yeah. Okay. So so currently during the interview in the first initial interview we only asked 2 questions. Or one is whether they game the system and what's the frequency, and also the reasons why you game the system. We didn't ask their goals to learn the course, since it's a Python programming course in introductory programming course in the university. So and students are from different various departments. So we did. I think maybe we can, if in the future we can ask their goals. Maybe they have different goals in learning this course. Since it's for some students it's a required course, for other students maybe it's optional. So maybe they have different goals that can be taken into consideration. Yeah.